Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man. Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, viewers, this is Life Choices, and I'm Muhammad Amran on Huda TV. Inshallah, today's topic, we're going to talk about team spirit or teamwork. As you know, a very popular saying, united we stand, divided we fall. So inshallah, we're going to spend the realms of this episode trying to discuss team spirit and teamwork. Brother Basid, welcome to the show again. Very nice having you.
Thanks for having me on the show. Alhamdulillah.
It's always a pleasure. And Brother Adam, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
And Kareem.
Hey.
How you going?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. All right, let's get started. So teamwork or team spirit? Adam, what's your thoughts? Sorry, I caught you off guard there.
No. You're just one step ahead of me, man. But that's good because you're the leader, man. You need to be. To motivate
To put you
So I hear this saying that if you have like 10 spears together, it's impossible to break them all together. But if you take one spear away from the bunch and you try to break it, easily it will snap in half.
Well,
So what you're saying is it's important to have all those spears in place in order to have a strong foundation.
Yes.
Each team member is important. Like this team right here. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. We are the best. I'm sure that we are the best. Actually, you make me remember something that he used to say about this proverb. There were a family and the dad was dying and he was trying to do the same idea. He got one of his children and he said, get this roots together.
Pencils.
Yeah, this pencils together. Break this one. He break it. He gave him two. He told him, can you break those two? He said, yes, I will break it. He gave him 10. He told him, can you break this? He broke it. He looked at the rest of the family and he said, as long as this guy is here, I will never be afraid. He's very strong. Yeah,
I heard a different version.
that's your vision there, like.
They can't break the 10, but they can break the 1 alone.
Yeah. This we have only in Egypt, you know. This style is only in Egypt.
This is good.
But actually, we need to start from that there is a big difference between a team and a group, because this is the main purpose that people cannot understand. We have a lot of groups everywhere. We have a lot of groups on Facebook, for example. But do you think that those groups are real team? They are doing everything together? They are sharing everything together? Definitely not. They are only a group. You just go there to see some news, to do some stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
But you are not working for the sake of the group, right? And this is the main difference. That we need to differentiate between what's meant by team and what's meant by group. Group is some people, they are doing something. Everyone is doing it for the aim of himself and for the sake of himself.
In a group.
In a group.
Okay.
But in the team, there's something important that behind every action, although if it was different, they are seeking the same purpose.
Okay, so they have a shared and common goal.
Exactly.
Okay.
They are sharing a main goal and a common goal. Although if my job is different from your job, is different from your job. For example, here in shooting this show, everyone is doing something. There is a person in the production, there is a person in the preparation, there is a person behind the cameras. But at the end of the day, they must be team to get out the show. But the main problem that we have, not all teams are working for the same goal and the same purpose. That's why we have a lot of teams only by names. But when you focus, you'll find that they are a group, and that's why they are failing. Failure happens for teams because they are working, they started to forget about the vision of the team, and everyone started to build for his own purpose.
Right. What is the common goal or common vision of Muslims? What is our just at the our primary a very basic level, I mean, what is our goal anyways as a group?
As a, collectively,
As a jama'ah.
as a
yeah.
jama'ah, I mean, other than to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I think that's what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
To establish that first.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of things. We have different fields. For example, the whole concept that we are working under its umbrella is worshipping Allah, but every team is working to do something for the ummah, to keep the ummah of Islam doing the benefit for everyone. And we are the witnesses for everything is happening for all ummahs. So we must be fair enough and balanced enough to be able to be the witness on the witness situation. So what we need to learn is, or what we need to ask ourselves is, do you think that all the groups that surrounding us are working for the same purpose or not? Do you think so?
That's putting them on the spot, because that's a tough question. And obviously, well, let's put it. Let me look at it this way then. Imagine a company, right? Any organization that has a marketing department, research and development, accounting. Okay, each has a different purpose, but at the end of the day, they're working for the success of the organization. So likewise with us as Muslims, as individuals or as teams, we are working we should be working for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be in compliance with Quran and Sunnah, and to aim for Jannah. And once this foundation is established, then we can start talking about other things, which is hopefully we can discuss in this show, and this just kind of group think inshallah a little bit, and so go repeat your question one more time there, brother.
Yes.
Kareem?
Actually, I was asking, do you think that all the groups around us, or all the teams around us, are real teams, or do you think that most of them are groups?
Yeah, I mean it's just a reality we have to face, and which is why we're having this discussion. We are somewhat uncoordinated at times. We each with our own. I want to do things this way. I want to do things that way. This is what I think. This team thinks this. Whatnot. Sometimes there's this collision. But you know what? And I've seen this before, and just back in my communities back home. Sometimes we don't realize our potential when we actually come together as a real team, as a real organization. Not I want to take credit for this idea. Why isn't my idea being put forward? But rather working for the sake of Allah. Wallahi, I've seen some really good brothers working back home in the da'wah organizations, and they can accomplish a lot, especially when they have proper tarbiyah and tazkiyah. When really they're they leave the egos at the door, and under a proper leadership, they can actually accomplish a lot of good things. For example, we've seen some really nice, back in Canada, nice Islamic conferences put together. So I see what you're trying to get at in your question. That where can we improve, basically, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think I've seen another side to that as well. I mean, I've seen groups or teams, if you might want to call them, just fighting each other, organizations.
Oh yeah.
Not being very productive in the dawah field, more as in bashing the other organization. You know what I mean? Which sometimes they're following the exact same set of principles.
Just to be clear, you're on my team, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on my team.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Do you have the same in America, Adam? Do you have the
same like sort of division?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I'm not very educated on the whole cause of all the separation and division, but I hear this a lot, that a lot of there's this technique called divide and conquer, and it's used by
external
people,
forces.
external forces, to basically do exactly that: divide and conquer people, whether it's within their own faith, within their own selves, spiritually.
People trying to work against Islam, pretty much.
Yeah, so exactly, and I think we definitely need to go back to the truth, and I need to find what's good, and to make that prevalent over the falsehood and evil that is within me, and to hopefully be around good people.
What do you think the difference between us and them? The word them here means Sahaba, Tabi'een. Why they were able to do what you said with us, but they were not able to do this with them? I always ask myself this question.
You mean why? You mean why were the Sahaba able to
Nobody
be
was
more
able to
cohesive?
separate them from each other and to separate the teamwork. They were always working as a team.
Well, they had a very effective leader, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I mean, if something that we lack in the Islamic Ummah today is a proper
leadership.
It's leadership.
So we could say we need to go back to the Sunnah, and we need to.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the guidance of the Prophet, peace be upon him, is still with us till today, and it will be with us to the Day of Judgment. But you know, it's one thing having the guidance, you know, in the form of, you know, a hadith and Quran, and then actually having a physical leader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's one major difference between us and the Sahaba, is they had the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, right there. You know what I mean? So I think that's, you know, that's very motivational, and yeah.
The other thing is that and they say, I remember in one of our halakas, one of the du'at, one of the callers to Islam there said when talking about the characteristics of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the leadership characteristics of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that he was able to look at someone and recognize their strengths and put them in the right position. In other words, delegate or allocate the right tasks. And that's, you know, I guess this kind of ties our last topic about leadership and teamwork, is that, you know, without leadership there's no team, right? So it's really important to have a leader that can bring the team together, and when the team starts to fall apart, can reunite them to ensure that they work cohesively.
So basically we need leadership in the Islamic Ummah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So I don't know how we're going to solve that.
Yeah.
that problem. I mean.
But I guess the discussion is more about effective teamwork.
Okay,
yeah.
effective teamwork or team spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, but we cannot separate. I want to recap on this.
Okay.
We cannot ever separate both each other from them from each other, because leadership is really, we cannot have a team without a leader, because leadership is, if we remember the first episode long weeks ago about the first episode about leadership, it was saying it's about directing and moving your team into a common goal.
It's going to be blind leading the blind.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have a leader.
And if you remember the story of the two boats, of the Japanese boat and the Egyptian boat, yeah.
It wasn't an Egyptian boat. It was.
Yeah, it was a boat.
It was a boat.
So the story said like this.
Yeah.
So when this is the main purpose, that we don't have the appropriate leader who is able to lead the team and to keep the conflict. Why? Because when we are talking about teams, we are talking about human beings, team of human beings, not team of robots. Team of human beings means that everyone has his own specifications and his own personality. As long as there is differences between his personalities, so we are talking about conflict. Handling the conflict and hiring the right team and putting people in the right position and coping people with each other and keeping the balance between varieties inside the team is the work of the leader. That's why always we have a big failures in our teams, because the team is working. I know that teams is mainly about direct supervision, that they are able to work without direct supervision. They are self-motivated, self-directed team. This is the most professional team, by the way, because we have three main cores. We have different styles of teams, but we have three main cores. We have something called functional team, we have something called cross-functional team, and we have the best ever self-directed team. Self-directed team is the most up-to-date team who doesn't need a leader. And from the example that I always remember, I don't know if I said this before and not here, maybe somewhere else, Microsoft, when they were trying to hire the assistant of Bill Gates, he did a strange thing. He gave a vacation. He started to do under interviews and exams and this stuff until they got three candidates. They don't know who is the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill Gates decided to do a very good trick. He gave them a vacation for a week.
Yeah.
And he started to monitor the team. After a week, he gave them another. The teams are working well. They gave them another week. The team are working well. He gave them another more week. One of the teams started to drop.
Yeah.
So he gave more week until he stayed for the last team with a vacation for 2 months. The manager is in on a vacation for 2 months.
Yeah.
And the team is working the same way.
This is a very good idea, by the way. This is interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Then he invited him back, and he said, "You have been chosen.
Yeah.
Why? Because your team was not in need for you." And this is a big conflict that we have here, especially in Arab countries. People think that the manager must be always here, so there is a difference. For example, if I have a floor of workers, when I work off the floor, people must work better than when I'm not here. This is a big problem. It means if they are working better in front of you, it means that you are a very wrong leader.
Yeah.
A very stupid leader. Because people are faking you. They are
Yes.
working good in front of you, and when
Yeah.
you go, they don't.
Yeah.
So it's a big problem.
Yeah.
So the good leader, when he works good, when he is an effective leader, people will work the same way. He is on the floor, he is with them or not. And this is a main rule for the leader.
Brother Karim, you touched a little bit upon conflict, and you know the story. Maybe you can elaborate it better than I can. But I wanted to tie it to a point that Brother Adam here made regarding divide and conquer and just division and conflict in general. You said something about, or basically the story that comes to my mind is the two Sahaba who almost got into a dispute with each other, and the Prophet ﷺ said, what are you doing? This is like from Jahiliyyah. Can you elaborate on that story a little bit?
Yes. I wanted to focus on the purpose of the story. The purpose of the story, that what the leader did with his team when there is a direct conflict. He started, when he found that there is a fight between two Sahaba, what he wants to do, he wants to get them back to the benchmark. He told them that there is a benchmark, and he is the source, not only the knowledge. He is not only knowing the knowledge, he is the source of the knowledge, and I'm sitting with you here, so I'm getting back to the benchmark. This is from the actions of Jahiliyyah. You are doing something that we used to do in the old days.
Days of ignorance, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the major problem. So he started to make something very professional, which is changing the focus of your team on the real things that you need to focus on.
Okay, so redirecting their attention
to the results.
Back to the main
original vision.
The original vision. Inshallah, we'll be back more discussing this very interesting points right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
We're still at the dentist clinic. Dr. Ashraf is our host. Dr. Ashraf, now you have the patient, and we've been talking about the sterilization and the care for the tools, either the disposables and the non-disposables. And one of the very important, most advanced tools for the dentist is the microscope.
And one of these things is very important, that we can take this image and we can freeze it so that my patient can join me and discuss with me the different treatment options that we have.
Being exposed to burn is considered to be a catastrophe, and some people would have the burn at home, some others would be exposed to it in the streets and work as a factory or other places. And learning how to deal with the burn and how to manage the case, either going to the doctor or just to manage it as an emergency and then going to a specialized person to deal with it, is a mandatory for all of us.
This is one of the most dangerous causes of burn, because I'm not only exposed to the heat, I'm exposed to smokes. These smokes may aid to the injury of the skin.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, from that very short break. Before the break, we were discussing with the brothers about conflict resolution Now, whenever a team, if there's there's any issues between them, to redirect them back on the main goal, and
Yes.
objective.
Let's,
So continue on, Karim, please.
yeah, let's start from the part of the role of the leader that can reflect simply on the team. We have one of the very major famous approaches that says we have 4 stages
Mm-hmm.
of building a team. Now I want to build a team to keep away the conflict. While we said it's essential, we will have conflict anyway, because we are not living on the life of with angels who does no mistakes. No,
Mm.
we live with people who does mistake. Yeah, every one of them does mistake. So to keep away the conflict, we must have steps, and very clear steps. The first step is we have to what we call it staging. Staging. What is staging? Staging is putting people together. They mean to put people together. Then what we can call it forming. So we can say staging, or sometimes some people say it storming. Storming is like brainstorming. We storm, we
Okay.
get people. Storming, then forming. We start to put this team and these capabilities together in a sequence. The next is norming. Start to establish the ship to move in the right way. And the last thing is performing. We want to talk inside this process as an example.
Yeah.
We have staging, or what do you got? Storming, forming, norming, performing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Excellent.
I like
Yeah,
it
I
so
like
much.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the main problem always happen in the first stage, which is the stage of storming. How I can storm people together, how I can match the capabilities. And this is the major problem of the leader. That the leader, when he hired the team, he doesn't care about the concept of the team. And this is what caused the conflict. He cares only about the professional people. I have Adam, he is very professional in marketing. I have Basel, he is very professional in finance. I have Amran, he is very professional in HR.
We all have fancy
took him a while.
resumes. Our CVs are fancy. We speak eloquently. These kinds
Yes,
of things.
okay, let's collect all of them and put
Yeah.
them together. They will do nothing, because you are only focusing about the proficiency, and you didn't focus about the spirit, about the team. That's what happened in one of the famous clubs. I don't remember, I'm not a big fan of soccer. It was a football team in
That's
one
a
of...
surprise. You're Egyptian. You're not a fan of soccer.
Yeah.
No,
Big surprise.
no, I'm not actually. So it's one of the Spanish teams. I think they got all the stars. I don't remember the name, but
Brazil?
no, it's Spain, in Spain.
Anyways, not important.
Yeah. it's okay.
Okay.
Americans are not a fan of soccer. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Neither are Canadians.
Okay, now this is going into stereotypes. I played soccer from a very young age.
Oh my! Wow, this is shocking. Too much information here, guys.
Yes, yes. One of the famous teams, I don't remember it, actually, they got all the stars
Mm.
from all the countries. The best one in France, the best one in England, the best one in... And the team, they lost, I think, most of the games. Why?
Mhm.
They go to the game to make a show.
Mm-hmm.
Only to make a show. They got all the professional people. However, they failed. Why? There were no team, because every one of them was a team.
Yeah.
However, everyone in his team, he used to win. But when they were together, they failed, because everyone was playing for his own show.
It's a very good example.
Well, I guess it also takes time for for team spirit to develop. You can't just expect to get 10 people in a room and expect them to work as a team straight away.
To all get
Uh,
along and at that, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Maybe at the beginning there's going to be conflicts, and stuff and issues like that. But after a while, it takes. What I mean is, it takes a while to build team spirit and for a team to work effectively. It's not going to happen from day one.
Yes, we have stages to do this.
Yes.
That's why we need always, especially Muslims, we must do this, because this is our core. We need always to be scientific people. We get what the science said. We get the new and updates. We get the most important thing, the reference that we have from the best example on earth, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Sallallahu alayhi wa
And we start to implement that on our teams.
Mm.
Then when we do this, We will have the ability. How the Prophet Muhammad built a team in one day between Al-Muhajirin and Al-Ansar. Right? In one day, he built teams.
Yeah.
Everyone having his own partner in his house. They are sharing everything together.
And he maintained this team sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Exactly. And this is the forming.
Yeah.
He did the storming. Not everyone was able to go with the Prophet Muhammad to this journey. A lot of people was not good enough to do something like this, and they were like munafiqeen. They didn't do anything.
Had excuses.
Right? But only he did the right storming. He has the best people ever. They have been chosen by God. Then they got the journey, and when they reach it, he has another good team, and now he has. I'm thinking now with the Prophet as a leader. He has now another problem, that he has the best teams ever together. But maybe he can face the same problem of the football team, the soccer team. He has all the good people, so he can have a lot of conflicts. Because, for example, I am Umar ibn al-Khattab, and another one from al-Munasirin, from al-Ansar. I am the prince here, and he can have a lot of problems.
By the way, I wanted to apologize. You're right, actually. Some Americans have this.
We're going back to the soccer point now.
No, have this idea like that soccer is like not a rough or not a tough sport.
Hey, come on, let's be honest.
My dad's Egyptian, and he was my coach.
Right.
So this is probably a big influence of why
I see it.
But
back to the topic.
I just want to apologize.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Back to the topic about Muhajirin and Ansar.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons why they were able to work so effectively together is because they were the perfect examples of love for your brother, what you love for yourself.
They solved all the conflict on the spot.
Mm.
Simply, they were able. For example, let's see the main keys of success here. The first thing, they have the best leader ever.
Yes, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Second thing, they have the best teams ever. The third thing, which was able to solve all the problems, they have the main purpose together, is to connect to be stronger. This is the main purpose. It's for akhirah. They were working for the vision. So everyone was very true to himself when he said that I will follow this vision. So he was able to do anything. Lead him to get the result that he wants.
So perhaps we can say one of the issues affecting the Islamic organizations is that sure, all our objectives is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I think the minor objectives is what they're getting carried away by, as in who can get more followers maybe.
So,
I think this is the issue and the mistake.
Who can take credit for ideas? Who can be representing the Muslims?
As opposed to they're forgetting the ultimate goal, which is attaining paradise.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the issues. Yeah, losing track.
Looking up for Islam.
Yeah.
Protecting the ummah.
Exactly right. Losing track of the main goal and focusing on the little things.
The only conflict that we solved in the Muslim ummah, and we solved it in 2 minutes, that we will not agree on each other. This is the only thing that we all agree on.
Did Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar al-Khattab agree on everything?
No,
Yes.
but they were able
To disagree.
to disagree.
Radiallahu anhuma.
To accept. They were able to accept each other because they were not seeking the ego for themselves. I was not in a conflict with Adam because I want to prove that I am right and he is wrong, and he wants to prove that he is right and I'm wrong. No.
Yeah.
Totally the opposite. They were trying, and Imam Shafi'i, he has amazing words. Amazing word. If we have it in our teams, we will have no problem. He said, how many debates I entered, and I wish that the person in front of me is the right one, not me.
Subhanallah.
Look for the vision. I am not going inside in a debate with you to prove that I'm right. No, but to prove the truth. Whatever it was. You are the right person. I will thank you because you supported me. I was the right person. Okay, I will help you to do what I said to you.
So we can say another reason for team failures is people's they fail to
Ego.
the ego. That's right.
Ego.
The arrogance. It's not debating the truth. It's about I'm right and you're wrong.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. I cannot make any mistakes. My decisions are always right. Well, this is not true, and this is not the concept. Muhammad alayhi salam, once he asked when he asked people to do something in the plants, they asked him and he told them to do something in the plants and it didn't get a result. And they asked the Prophet Muhammad, why you said this to us? It was not right. He said, I'm not into this. You only said, asking me to say an opinion, and it's related to life. You are not asking me about a concept in life, a benchmark, something in religion. No, you're asking me about the plant is to put it in this or that. I don't remember the story, but something to the agriculture science. So he said, I don't know, do this. Okay, maybe. It will happen. But he didn't feel like, I don't do any something strong, any something, I don't do any mistakes. No, he said that you asking me for an opinion. I said an opinion, not more than this. So as long that's why we want to support what happened here with what Sufyan al-Thawri said. Sufyan al-Thawri used to say something amazing. He used to say that talking about religion is like a ladder. And talking about an opinion is like the open ground. So when you are in the open ground, say whatever you want. But when you are on the ladder, take care, because maybe you will get down and you will break your neck.
Yeah, fall down, subhanAllah.
Yes. So this is the core of how we have to build the concept of the team. So the first thing in the forming stage, we have to unify the vision to make the team working for one purpose. But we have a problem here, the variety, that we have variety in our teams. For example, me and Umran is working in the same team, and he's Australian, and I'm Egyptian, and I don't like Australians, and he doesn't like Egyptians. This is a problem in storming. He chose us in a wrong way. Why? He chose people who are not focusing on the purpose. They are focusing on tiny things.
Labels.
Right? Don't focus on these small things. We need people who are seeking the vision. So if you are a leader seeking a vision, you have to choose upon the vision that you said that you are following. Otherwise, don't say that you are following. Right? So, this is the storming, this is forming. The next step is another difficult one, like the storming, is the norming. Norming is making things going normally. Establish the things. This is very difficult to do. And I think that most of us having the same problem, that we don't have problems sometimes, we don't have problems in the beginning. All the team want to work together, and let's go, let's do it, we are good. But when it comes to personal relations and teams started to be near to each other, people started to talk on each other, you know, the problems. And you find after a while, after a month or two, that the team started to be unbalanced.
So Adam, what's some of the problems you think you've ever faced when you working as a team?
Sometimes sometimes I'll try
especially on the norming stage.
On the norming stage?
Yeah, after a while, when you have
to strike that balance, you mean to keep going.
Yeah,
that flow.
Yeah, of course, in that stage, when something bad happens or something adverse to myself or something, it takes a real team member, someone who has a lot of patience, to accept what happened and to put it behind them and keep moving forward with the same enthusiasm and belief in where they're going.
Fair enough. All right, so brothers and sisters, don't go anywhere. We're just going to go for a very short break.
Should we perform wudu after eating mutton meat, after eating sheep meat? And the Prophet said, if you wish, it's not a must. And then he asked him again, he said, okay, do we have to perform wudu after eating camel's meat? And the Prophet said, yes. Brother Muhammad's second question from Spain was about writing fictional stories for children. Is it permissible or not? For children, inshallah, it is permissible, because as long as the idea is good and the context is good and it's bringing up their morality, their behavior, their conduct, and you're trying and focusing to make them better people, I believe, inshallah, this is permissible.
He was asking about the ruling on banks, and I believe that he is asking about the banks in Nigeria. Is it halal to work for them or not? The majority of banks worldwide that do not apply the Islamic financing and transactions, it is forbidden for you to work in them because they deal in interest, in riba. Any bank, anywhere in the world, you just go there and tell them, I need 100,000 euros. They say, this is 100,000 euros. You have to pay 7%, 8%, 12%, depending on that. And this is completely forbidden. This is riba.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back from that very short break to Life Choices. Now, before the break, we were discussing with Adam, any problems he's faced in the in a team environment, especially in that norming stage.
Brother, can you just, if you don't mind, define the norming stage for me one more time?
Define the norming stage.
Yeah.
Norming stage, yeah. Let's say the norming stage is the part of establishing the things together that we started. First we have storming, we collect the team, forming, connect it together, make the start. Norming is going smoothly with the words.
So this is more long-term. We're looking at the long-term phase. Does this
No, not long. It's only the establishing to start. Like when you have the car, let's stay it on the car. Storming is getting inside the car, putting your stuff, putting your bags and that stuff. Forming, starting to put the key inside the car and start to open the contract and that stuff. Norming is getting the first step and start to move on the first level on the gearbox.
Okay.
Only the first level.
Okay.
This is norming. Okay. Performing, which is the last, you start to go smoothly,
Okay.
and the second and the third and the fourth.
So these four steps are primarily restricted to the formation of the team.
Yes.
Formation of the team, not necessarily long-term performance, but just building, just making the team.
Yes.
How a leader should think about the stages a leader should think about when forming the team. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at a very short and very interesting video clip we have prepared for you. So keep watching. SubhanAllah, that was a very, very interesting video clip, Adam. I really enjoyed that one.
I definitely need to add that to my, morning cartoons.
Yeah. Just the way they worked collaboratively as a team and, able to defeat all those obstacles that's come in their way. I really liked it. I enjoyed the ant one,
Yeah.
especially.
Definitely. So but before the break, we were Brother Basil wanted me to share a story about the Battle of Badr, when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, led 300 believers against
1,000.
Against
1,000,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Against a number much more than them, and because of their unity and their team spirit and their good leader, they became victorious by the grace of Allah.
SubhanAllah. So it's always goes back to the leader. Again, we're talking about team effort, team spirit. It always comes down to the leader. Brother Basid.
Yeah. You forgot my name for a second, didn't you?
Just for a second.
And also I wanted to say something, and I'm sure even after this victory, they weren't proud. They thanked Allah.
SubhanAllah.
And I know you had a story about
Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, yeah.
Yeah, that he thanks the true believer thanks Allah before he thanks himself.
The leader knows that victory is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously, any organization, team or leader or team members, they're going to try to do their best with ihsan, but they know that the result, the outcome, at the end of the day, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, yeah.
But I guess what we're trying to focus on here today is, does the ummah today as a team, have we exerted that effort? Have we done have we tried to do our best in terms of ihsan, professionalism? Have we tied the camel and then put our trust in Allah, our tawakkul in Allah? That's the question that I have. That's been on my mind for quite a while. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Actually, it depends on. we cannot here talk on the ummah itself, because actually we are not presenting, from my opinion, we are not presenting the ummah in the best way. Because what I wonder always, that we have everything and we do nothing. We do nothing because we always don't want to take the main responsibility that we have to take, because having a team is responsibility, because everyone will be responsible for that team, because everyone is living for the same purpose, and we have already the biggest purpose ever in life. So what we have, the main problem that we have, we don't have the right leader that we can follow. The second thing, that people cannot understand the real meaning of having a team. For example, people cannot understand up till now that it's not about size. The team is not about size. Every Muslims are focusing on increasing the number of Muslims, and we want all this. The people will be Muslims. Okay, that's good and sounds so cool, but this is not getting even a result. Why? Because you have to focus not on the number.
We actually hear this saying a lot in the States. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yes.
They say like there's power in numbers.
Yeah, there is power in numbers. There is power in numbers.
There is power in numbers.
While this is not true. Because the Prophet said something else. The Prophet said, then you will be a lot, but like the
foam.
The foam of the sea.
There's quantity but no quality.
But we just said now that there is no power in numbers, because if, as you mentioned in the Battle of Badr, there were 300, and the mushrikeen were 1,000.
1,000, yeah.
Exactly.
So numbers meant nothing. The Nasr comes from
totally
Allah.
the opposite.
Quality,
the
not
opposite,
quantity, like you said. That was good, man.
Totally the opposite of Badr happened on Hunayn.
Yes.
ويوم حنين إذ أعجبتكم كثرتكم فلم تغني عنكم من الله شيء. يوم حنين, you were proud that we are. They said, the Muslims said to each other, we will never be beaten today due to this, due to the numbers, or because we are few. What happened in the beginning of the war, of the battle? They lost. In the beginning of Hunayn, we lost. And when they come back, how they came back to win the war? When the Prophet Muhammad stood up on a stone and he said, "Ana Abdullahi wa Rasuluh." He said, the Prophet, "Ana Abdullahi wa Rasuluh," and the slave of God and His messenger. So he came back to the main vision of a team, and he got the Muslims back to the main vision, which is that we are the slaves of God, and we are the servants of God. So it's not about being proud with yourself. No, don't be proud with yourself. You have to be proud that Allah will help you to do so. Due to this, the teams fail. Because some teams, when they feel like, we are this team, blah blah team. We will never fail because we are this team. We are the strongest ever. What will happen? You will lose. Titanic, when it's very well the story. What happened to Titanic?
The ship of Titanic.
They thought that they are the best team ever. We will never. We have the most biggest ship ever. What happened? They lost. Everybody think that he is the best ever. He lose. On the I love basketball actually. On the one of the championship, USA was the best team ever in USA. I think Lithuania or something, another team. They won USA. Why? Because USA was playing like we will never lose. It's very simple team. We will win anywhere. Anyway, no, you will not. Because you don't have the vision that you are working for, that you are working behind it. So the vision is the main core that supports any team, and the leader is the next thing. And we want to differentiate some stuff. For example, there is a big difference between I am a leader for a team, I'm hiring them, or I am a leader for an existing team. And this is a big difference. These differences will make big differences in the approaches. When I work with the team that I'm going to hire, it's easy, as we were just saying before the video. You can hire this, you can cope the variety, you have to care about the vision, you have to care about the purpose. But what if I have a team, an existing team, and I will go to manage them, to be their leader? What I have to do? What do you think? If you are going to be a leader for an existing team, what the first thing that you will focus on, and how you will be? You have to be the leader, you know, charismatic leader. What you will do?
I try to figure out the purpose first.
The purpose.
That's good.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah, I would agree with Brother Adam, because you're trying to make sure everyone's on the same page, everyone's on the same boat, everyone's thinking the same. If sometimes when a new manager or leader is looking after an existing team, they might take offense to that, or they might say, "Hey, don't try to change our ways. We already have embedded habits within us, and you can't change that." So you know, it kind of set the foundation and set the authority, but you have to do it in a way that's not intimidating to that team. You have to work with them.
You should also get to know the team players, know their strengths and know their weaknesses.
Yes. Oh, what you're saying is amazing. Yeah. First of all, we need to just set them. First of all, we have to clarify the vision, why we are together.
Yes.
The second thing that we said we talked about it in the last episode. You have to flaunt your knowledge. The third thing, what you have just said, we have to find out the key players. Why? To be able to categorize people according to their capabilities. Because maybe I have someone who can work a lot of hours, but he is not that much creative. But I have another one that he's not working a lot, but he's very creative. He can make amazing work in 1 hour or 2 hours. So I have to know the capabilities of everyone to be able to know how to deal with them. I have to figure out the experts. Because the expert has different way of dealing, different than the junior. For example, if I'm going to manage your team, and you are three, my team, and I'm going to be the manager. Okay? Remember, I will fire you the first thing. The first thing I will see, for example, Umran is the expert here. He's the oldest one, and he knows everything about the work. If you are a junior, I can deal with you as a teacher, as a leader, and you will accept because you want to learn. You're still a junior and you are starting your life. But for him, he's an expert. He doesn't care. I know everything. By the way, I was going to be instead of you, but it's a matter of luck.
Yeah.
You know?
We've seen that before many times.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know, he has only to do very simple technique. All what he has to do is, Umran, I need your support to manage this team. Okay, I'm facing a very hard problem, and I need to know everything about you because you are the real expert here. Please, I want you to help me.
That's an excellent technique.
Yes. And he must be my delegate, directly. Why? I have an expert, and he will appreciate this when I give him his what he deserves in front of the team. So people will respect him. He will respect me due to what I did, and at the same time, I will have a delegate that he will manage the team with me.
When you say that, I think about the closest Sahaba to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar bin al-Khattab, Uthman Ali radiyallahu anhuma. They were the closest. And to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and kind of almost working with him sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yes, and he was putting everyone in his place. There is people that he didn't use to ask them directly, and there is people who got used to ask them for some favors. He was managing everything due to the capabilities and due to the delegation. If it is related to finance in the beginning stage, he will ask Uthman because he knows more about finance. If it cares about something, he needs someone strong that he can as decision maker. Umar is here. He will do it himself. He knows the capabilities, so he knows how to delegate everyone in his place.
Now, just because we're a bit short on time, let's if we can just each of us maybe leave a point that we think makes a good team or a good team spirit. What do you think is effective, Brother Adam? I mean, what could you share?
Well, let's start with somebody who has something good to say.
I just wanted to make an important point. Did we finish the 4 stages? The 4 stages?
Yeah, only the last stage is after form. We reach norming. The last stage is performing. Performing, it needs two main rules: direct monitoring and controlling. Because while performing, you need someone always to monitor from time to time and control through preventive actions and corrective actions. If there is a mistake that happened, I will correct it. If there is a mistake that is going to happen, I must prevent it.
Okay.
After that, we will go through the flow with amazing team spirit that doing everything well.
All right. Unfortunately, brothers, it's time to wrap up the show. We've run out of time. Jazakallah khair for joining us for another episode of Life Choices on Huda TV. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man. Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man.